Welcome to Lobster's list for April 11th, 2013. Number 1. Flowstorm is a 2.5D game for PC, Mac, and Linux about precision control where you pilot a vehicle through checkpoints. You can race through levels to get good leaderboard times, or you can try to get through levels with objectives such as using as little fuel as possible. Player versus player combat is another mode, and there's already a level editor in the alpha. Backers at the $15 tier can pre-order the game, have an in-game skin exclusive to backers, and have a backer badge on the forum. Thruster smoke trails and rail grinding sparks add good intensity to the visuals. I was disappointed how poorly this campaign has been performing, as there looks like there's a lot of value in this game for people that aim for high scores. Number 2. Sea Wars is a mash of genres like RTS, roguelike, fighting games, and tower defense. Summon ally units onto the blue grid tiles, while players are also able to directly control a player character. The story has humanity surviving on the moon after war ruined the Earth, and now a mutant outbreak has occurred. There's a playable alpha that can be downloaded for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android. 3DS and Wii U are other platforms the developers are considering. You can pre-order at the $10 tier for desktops or Android, and there are $10 early bird slots for the version with a backers-only in-game weapon. The animated pixel art looks very well done, the pitch video was entertaining, and the project page shows off a lot of details about the game. While researching this project, I kept moving it up this list, finally bumping it up to the second spot after listening to the music samples. Number 3. Battleworld's Kronos is a turn-based strategy game from a studio known for making an adventure game called The Book of Unwritten Tales. It offers 2 single-player campaigns, live online multiplayer, and asynchronous multiplayer modes. If you enjoyed the Advance Wars series, then take a look at this project. There's a very interesting mechanic that limits counterattacks. This campaign is now working on reaching its stretch goals to add support for more platforms than PC, Mac, and Linux, such as tablets and the Ouya console. You can pre-order the game at the $20 tier, which includes forum access and being a beta tester. Number 4. Risk of Rain is a 2D action game for PC with randomly generated levels and difficulty that increases over time. Players can pick from 10 different characters, and there's a large variety of items already. The basic pre-order tier is at $10, and there's a demo out now. The minimum goal is a relatively low $7,000, and I've seen this game before on Let's Play channels, where watching it in low resolution video makes the action hard to see. Number 5. PreApocalypse is a 4X strategy game with the premise that a fantasy world is faced with an approaching apocalypse, and the various factions conflict with each other about ideologies and how to best deal with the situation. During combat, units attack and defend individually, but are moved together in formations. A write-up on the project page talks about a core mechanic called formation amputation, where parts of a formation can be cut off from the formation's leader and are effectively neutralized. The game is looking to launch for PC, Mac, Linux, and iOS, with backers able to pre-order the game at the $15 tier. Now on to honorable mentions. Infinite Space 3, Sea of Stars, is from developer Digital Eel, known for its past games Strange Adventures in Infinite Space and Weird Worlds Return to Infinite Space. This is early footage of this space game that has roguelike elements and procedural generation. Combat is in real time, with turn-based gameplay for navigating with the star map. The game for PC can be pre-ordered at the $10 tier. The Temple of the Sun and Moon is a first-person dungeon crawler for Android, inspired by games like The Legend of Grimrock, and can be pre-ordered for $5. It has a $5,000 goal to cover costs like the Unity engine licensing. After the Android release, the developers considered porting it to PC and Ouya. Sektor 58 is an RTS game for PC, Mac, Linux, and Ouya, with both single-player and multiplayer modes. Play as the Resistance and command armies of robots. There's a £9 early bird pre-order tier, with a £10 tier after that. If the campaign is funded, backers will gain access to the alpha. Polarium from Narrow Monolith is a puzzle game for PC, Mac, and Linux with a polarization mechanic that involves changing the color of the background so a cube can advance safely. A demo is out now to try, and you can pre-order at the £15 tier, which includes alpha and beta testing. There is the possibility of having split-screen local co-op being added. Before this game, Narrow Monolith has released 2 freeware games. Lurid is a top-down 2D adventure game using a retro art style. Gameplay involves solving puzzles, quests, and exploration. It has a relatively low goal of $1,200 and has a good breakdown of how the funds will go towards art assets. A copy of the game is included at the $3 tier, and a demo is available for download. Errant Heart is a visual novel set in an alternate version of the 1940s. A young female artist is missing a portion of her memory and somehow ends up at a boarding house. PC, Mac, and Linux versions of the demo can be downloaded. A $20 pledge can get your name in the credits and a copy of the game. Vivian Clark is a game with a bizarre art style that has the player changing perspectives by changing what they control in the game world. The example is that the player starts the game as a raindrop, and if that drop comes in contact with a bird, the player will now control the bird. Gameplay will also shift from platforming to a top-down view and other genres. Targeted platforms are PC, Mac, and Linux, with a basic pre-order at the $10 tier. Fox-2 is a sequel to a free game that was released on Android. The premise involves the reuniting of 2 separate foxes. This has a $2,500 goal and will also be released open source for free, including its level editor that uses HTML5. A $5 pledge can get your name in the credits. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps those projects.